guys have no idea what it took for me to get this thing going. So I forgot we did the community tree lighting on Friday just to break the fourth wall down. And I'm like, these microphones look different today. There was no cords attached to them, so we wouldn't have never heard the guests today. Glad we got it figured out. We got lead pastor Kyle. We also got lay minister Peggy. The Confluence Faith Community getting ready to open up a new church in Alton. And this is always really exciting. And congratulations to both of you and the entire church for another edition. And it's got to be an exciting time for everyone involved.
Yeah,
thank
100%.
You.
Thanks.
So fill me in, just give us a background on what the church is all about and the environment, if you will.
Yeah. So the Confluence Faith Community, the way I talk about it is we're a church for people who are hurt by church or don't like church.
Gotcha.
So we are a United Methodist faith community, but the majority of us are people who have been hurt by church, who have walked away from faith because of policies and practices and a lot of the hurt. And we're people who have experienced that, but yet still find a profound sense of meaning and purpose and community that we want to work towards. So, yeah, we're building this together with the community of Alton.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are in that category that maybe they were devout in whichever religion they devoted themselves to, or their family did, or how they've come to know God, but they've fallen out in some way, shape, or form. And take me through that conversation. What's it look like? When you have that with someone who says maybe they didn't have a very good experience at all, and then they find it in you in the church.
Yeah.
A lot of what we find is that we believe that each of us is united through a spirit,
mm-hmm.
and so we go for that, and we find the commonality there, and then we explore that through our different experiences, either in small groups or large groups, and we try to grow and ourselves, and then find a way that just feels natural to express ourselves and commune with the greater force of love that unites us all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kyle, any thoughts to that too?
Yeah, anytime I've had conversations with people, one of the things that I start with is what is sacred. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a person of faith or no faith at all, or a different type of faith, we're all able to say something is sacred to us. And when we find that piece and we can use that language, as a Christian, I might say one thing. I might use that very church riddled language, but another person might just say simply, this is sacred, it's beautiful, it's lovely, it's good, something to hold on to. And that gives us a place where we're all holding something in common, though we might have different language for it, and then just walking to how those differences aren't the things that should separate us, but they're the things that should draw us together and give us something to build on. And especially here in Alton, we're not building this for another community nearby. We're building this for the people of Alton, built by the people of Alton. We're 4 blocks from the building that I was born in. So, how much more Altonian can you get?
All right. Well, and I think that so many times, and just from conversations that I've had with individuals, and it doesn't matter the faith, that just, there's a lot of people, like I said, that really do have a hard time, finding maybe they're not, I hate to use the word belonging because, church is just a setting, but, they're belonging in, that specific church, or, just the way that it didn't sit with them. But how many times do you just, see somebody or meet somebody, this is my question, that says, I just want God in my life, but I just don't know how to, because I was used to it this way, I was used to it that way. To me, I just don't see any wrong way to incorporate that aspect into your life. I really don't.
Right. Myself, I come from a background growing up in church, but just because I've been in church doesn't mean that I have been void of all of the hurts that church can be. And oftentimes what I'm finding is it's not Jesus who's hurting me. It's not the faith itself that's hurting me. It's people who are enacting what they think Jesus is or what they think faith is and the way that they put it forward. And then, I mean, it's people. Yeah. We're heartbroken people, and we hurt each other. How can the question that we have with the Confluence is like, how can we come alongside and walk with you in that hurt and maybe build what you wish the church could have been when it was hurting you? What was the thing you wished that the church would have been? What do you think the church should have done? And try and meet people in those places and even empower the people to then take charge of their own stories.
And just this past Saturday, I had a great conversation with one of the business owners on 3rd Street. I'd walked in to introduce myself, and we were talking about something else. And I just happened to mention that we were launching the Confluence and we'd be meeting down the street. And he was very excited by that because he's looking for something for himself and his family because they had split with their earlier faith traditions, but they didn't split from God. And so they were looking for something. So I have to drop by and give him a card.
Yeah, that's really, it's just interesting. And it's to me, it's just very important because I think so many people are in this category where, I'm not necessarily in the category where I'm happy where I'm at, but I know there's so many people that aren't happy and they just don't have a very, a comfortable spot to go or maybe a comfortable group of people to share that collective thought too. And that's so important. And to share that space with folks here in Alton is just an absolutely wonderful opportunity for so many people that truly need an opportunity to share, God in their lives with others and themselves too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take me through the reasoning behind the location of the conservatory, because I find this fascinating in a way.
Yeah. So we could do church in a building.
Yeah.
And too many times I think when we say the word church, we think of the building, we think of the place, the location.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, they're just buildings. They're not things that have to be for us to be able to be the church, which is really the community. And so for us, the big piece was we're going to go out and meet people where they are. We're not going to sit here and wait for people to come in to a sacred, high, holy place in order to experience the divine come down. It's like, no, God is everywhere. And so why not go and meet people in a bar? And so thankfully, having some connections with people in the community and getting to know the owner of the conservatory, the space just feels right to be able to host what we want to do. And the fact that it strips down the magnificence of church and says the magnificence was always just us showing up for one another.
It's incredible.
And the space works. It just really works for us.
Well, I just find it to be so interesting, and I meant that in an all respectful way, because it is such a great point to make. Is that it's not about how beautiful your building is. It's about how beautiful the message is, and and really what you're exercising in that space. And I think it's interesting. And with that, how does your service break down? What times will they run? We know the 30th is the official launch. Is it going to be just once a week, or how does that work?
Yeah.
So our services will be on Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. For about an hour. And we'll be opening up early, be playing some inspirational music beforehand.
Cool.
And then during Advent, we will also be running book studies, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Scott the painter is an artist from Portland who did a book series about taking these mystical things and making them feel like they've got ground, like they're here in our daily lives. And so the book Honest Advent is a study that he's created for people doing things like what we're doing. And we're going to walk through that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Cool. Tuesdays at Post Commons, 10 o'clock, and Thursdays we'll be meeting in each other's homes.
Wow, I like that a lot. Do you guys have a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yeah.
We'll do that. 9:34. We'll come back, chat it up a little bit more about Confluence Faith Community. The first service in Alton taking place 2 p.m. at the Conservatory on November the 30th. That's going to be a really fun time. And is there already some good response to it so far?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. We'll take a quick break. We'll talk more about it and a little bit more of Confluence Faith overall after this on RiverBender.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? What's good, my guy? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got the future in your hand. Here I am, baby.
Daily Show, welcome back. 9:38, a little bit of change. Confluence Faith Community kicks off in Alton, November the 30th. Now, there's been other locations, correct, in the Metro East?
Yeah.
Where are they at?
So 6 years ago, we came in and planted our first church for the Illinois Conference in 20 years, which was, we planted over in Edwardsville. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of that early startup. And we met in taco shops, we met in parks, we met in what's now Sneaky's bar.
Oh,
wow. We moved all over Edwardsville until they finally landed in their new location, which is above Wasabi.
Okay, gotcha.
So they've been meeting 6 years ago, and they just became officially recognized as their own independent church, and they were able to help us launch. So
it's incredible. Well, and with that too, I just think it's really important to note for everyone too, confluencefc.org is the website to follow along with to get more information. But going into the first service, you guys have just got to be excited about this. And what are the conversations like? Are you meeting every day? Is it every couple of days, or just what's the prep look like as you prepare for November the 30th at 2 p.m. at the conservatory?
Yeah,
that was a lot of words without a breath. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That was impressive.
So what's it look like prep-wise?
Yeah. So we've been meeting as a launch team for a little over a year. We did a Christmas Eve service up at Post Commons last year.
Oh, cool.
As a way of just kind of doing some sample
Good
services.
Response?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
53 people on our first gathering, and just really powerful. And now here a year later, we get to say we're officially launching. But the craziness is, like, for us, it's not launching, it's just moving to something weekly.
Yeah.
But we've been in this doing services for over a year, once a month. We have a launch team that meets, that does all of our prep. And we have an excellent team that's really been pouring time and energy into this.
So Kyle, real quick, has your background always been in as a lead pastor? Has it always been in ministry, or did you find yourself in this place?
I've always supposed to have landed in this space. Like, this is the fullest I've ever felt doing work. I worked as a graphic designer for
No kidding.
years
Wonderful.
beforehand.
Yeah.
And then ended up becoming a pastor. And this is my 6th church I've served since I was ordained overall.
Congratulations. No, it's just great to get your background a little bit and how it ties into especially this mission. I think it's great.
For sure.
And Peggy, give us your background a little bit and how you found yourself to the church.
Absolutely. My background is a little bit more varied. I had a career in software engineering and project management and agile coaching, and so a lot of IT consulting roles. And then earlier in 2025, I found the ability to start actually serving in churches. And at that point, I was already studying to become a certified lay minister. Sometimes you never know about your career path. You'll have different jobs and you wonder how they're tying together. And then all of a sudden God pulls back the curtain and you say, wow, I see how all this fits.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I just love to hear the background a little bit. And really, it's great for the public to know that as they get to know and everyone a little bit more a part of the team and who all will be there on Sunday for the public to get to know and be a part of and worship and celebrate on those Sundays. Who's going to be there?
So in addition to Peggy and I, our launch team includes my wife, Megan.
Cool.
I include our 2 sons, even though one's 6 months and the other's only 3.
That's okay. They're the most important part.
They really are. But then in addition, we've got Courtney and Alex McCune, who they're just kind of the all-around helpful people that keep me in check when I tend to wander off. They always call me back, but they're really fun people. Cassidy
Harvey.
Yep, Cassidy Harvey, and then who am I? Oh,
Mark.
We've just added 2 new people to our team. So Mark, who is actually the organist at the Presbyterian Church here in town, has a distinct background in music. He's our music leader.
Really cool.
And then we added in Jason Burkett, who he comes from a long history, a long crazy background. We'll definitely need to hear his story sometime. But just a good crew of people.
I love it. I just think this is just a great opportunity, especially at this time of the year, too. It's never a bad time to see a new church opening, in my opinion, but it's also, especially whenever you're just after Thanksgiving and a lot of us celebrate and have a great time in the holiday season. But, I think every one of us has had a really rough holiday season, throughout our lives at least once. And for some, maybe we've never had a good holiday experience. And,
sure.
You could really find yourself in a really good place at the church, I think, especially during this time period. And you said you had some Advent stuff that was going to be taking place. Is there anything else that's going to be happening through the holiday season we can inform the public on too?
Yeah, in addition to our Sunday worship, we'll be doing every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I'm meeting with people at Post Commons to go through the Honest Advent book study that Scott the painter, Scott Erickson, wrote and illustrated. People don't have to have the book in order to show up and participate. It's a very easy way to guide people through it. And then we'll be doing the same study in people's homes on Thursday nights.
Wonderful.
So reach out to me. I'll connect you up.
What's the best way to reach out and stay up to date?
Yeah. So our Facebook, Instagram is where we're posting all of our most updated information. But if you need to reach out and connect with someone, Kyle at confluencefc.org is the best way to get a hold of me.
You remember your email address like that. Mine's CJ at RiverBender because I don't know what I had for breakfast. I can remember 2 letters in our company email, Yeah. And, final thoughts before we head into the 30th. What's your takeaway, just, how you're feeling personally, what you expect to get out of it yourselves, whenever you're able to, just to have that official collective gathering space. Because as you said before, it's not like anything's really changing. It's just having that permanent location and more opportunities.
But I think this launch of the Confluence is actually helping make church more relevant for people who might just not feel that connection. And I think we're starting something big.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. I really do.
For myself, it feels like healing that I need from the church as a way to be able to say, I said yes to this call to be a pastor years ago, but this is the first time I felt alive doing that work. Wow. And to say that I feel alive in it, not just because it's a church that I'm getting to see cool things happen in, but because it's a church I want to show up at, and that my family wants to be at, and that's a win.
Absolutely. We'll link everything on RiverBender.com and an article on how you can connect on social media, the website, and on November the 30th, 2 p.m. There will be inspirational music playing a little bit beforehand, and the service starting, and just a really good time. And I hope, honestly, I think over 50 for sure. What do you think? Every bit of that?
Yeah.
That'd be fabulous.
Yeah.
It'll happen. November the 30th, Conservatory. We'll link everything in an article and recap it. Thank you both for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break at 9:47, and we'll come back with more Daily Show. Wrap up the 9 after this.